So in today's class, we'll discuss what is joint movement generating function. Okay. So just know the joint movement generating function. So if x and y are two random variables, okay, if x and y are two random variables, the joint movement generating function mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as expected value of e power v1x v2y. Okay, this is called joint movement generating function. Okay, now if xy of x comma y is joint density function, it is joint probability density function of the random variables x and y, then the joint movement generating function mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power v1x e power v2y fxy of x comma y dx dy. This is the formula for finding the joint movement generating function. Now, in the case of discrete random variables, the joint movement generating function can be written as mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as summation with respect to m, summation with respect to n, okay, e power v1 xm plus v2 yn f. So we will be having probability mass function pxy xm yn. So this is the formula to find out the joint movement generating function in the case of discrete random variable. In the case of discrete random variable, we will be having the summation. Okay, two summations, one summation with respect to x, other summation with respect to y, e power vm, v1 xm, v2 ym, pxy of xm comma yn. Properties of joint movement generating function. The first property is we can find marginal movement generating function from joint movement generating function. Okay, from joint movement generating function. Marginal movement generating functions can be obtained from joint movement generating functions. What are the marginal movement functions? That is mx of v1 can be obtained from mxy of v1 comma 0. Similarly, my of v2 is equal to mxy of 0 comma v2, and similarly mxy of 0 comma 0 will be equal to 1. This is our first property. Okay. So now we will discuss the proof of this. So we know that the joint movement generating function mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as expected value of e power v1x e power v2y. This is the formula to find out the joint movement generating function. Okay. Now substitute v2 is equal to 0. So if we substitute v2 is equal to 0, we will be getting e power v1x, v2 is 0. So since v2 is 0, we will be getting e power 0 here. Okay. Now you know that what is e power 0 value is 1. So we will be having e power v1x. We will be having e power v1x. Okay. Now if you observe this, we have only the variable v1 and the variable x. So what is this? It is function of random variable x of v1. So it is mx of v1. So it is nothing but mx of v1. Okay. Now similarly in mxy of v1 comma v2, we substitute v1 is equal to 0. and we take V2 like that only. So if we substitute V1 is equal to 0, what is that we get? We get e power j omega j V1 is 0, e power 0, and we have V2 here. So it is V2y. Okay. Now what is this? It is the expected value of e power V2y. Okay. And we have only V2 and random variable y. So it is my of V2. So what is this? It is my of V2. Okay. So similarly, now if you substitute both V1 and V2, both are zeros. So what we get? We get expected value of e power 0 and expected value of e power 0. So we will be getting expected value of 1. And you know that what is the expected value of 1 will be equal to 1. So from this what we can say? We can obtain marginal joint moments from the marginal moment generating functions from the joint moment generating functions. By substituting v2 is equal to 0, we get mx of v1, and by substituting v1 is equal to 0, we get my of v2. Okay. By substituting both v1 is equal to 0 and v2 is equal to 0, we will be getting the value is equal to 1. So this is our first property of the joint moment generating function. The second property of joint moment generating function. If x and y are two independent random variables, then the joint moment generating function will be equal to product of marginal moment generating functions. Okay. So just note down, if x and y are two independent random variables, x and y are two independent random variables, then mxy of v1 comma v2 will be equal to mx of v1 into my of v2. Okay. So that is joint movement generating function is equal to what? Product of marginal movement generating functions. Okay. So now we'll see the proof of this. So since x and y are independent random variables, it is given that x and y are independent. So if any two random variables are independent, we know that their joint probability density function will be equal to product of marginal density function. So it is fxy of x comma y is equal to fx of x into fy of y. Okay. Now, what is joint movement generating function? It is given as integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, it is e power v1x plus v2y. Okay, fxy of x comma y dx dy. This is the formula given. Okay. Now, what is that given? These two random variables are independent. So, the joint PDF probability density function can be written as the product of individual density functions or marginal density functions, that is fx of x into fy of y dx dy. Now we separate the x variables and y variables and do the integration separately. So it is e power v1x fx of x dx. Okay. So plus integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power v2y fy of y dy. So if you observe the SIG formula, we have random variable x, so it is mx and it is function of v1. So if it is mx of v1, now if you observe the second formula, we have random variable y and it is function of v2. So what we can say, mxy of v1 comma v2 will be equal to mx of v1 into my of v2 if x and y are independent. If x and y are independent. Okay. This is our second property. The third property of movement generating function. The third property says that if x and y are two independent random variables, then mx plus y of v is equal to mx of v into my of v. Okay, so if you observe these properties, you compare these properties with the properties of joint characteristic function, both the properties are similar. Okay, so now we'll see the proof of this. Just now we have discussed that if x and y are independent, then what is that? The joint probability density function. The joint probability density function fxy of x comma y can be written as fx of x, fy of y. Okay, so it can be written like this. So from that, what is given? Mx plus y of v. Mx plus y of v can be written as. So you have two random variables. So that is why we have to take the two integrals. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Then e power. See here, both the random variables are function of only one variable v. So what is that we have here? Vx plus vy. Because in the previous case, random variable x is function of x1, whereas random variable y is function of v1 and random variable is function of v2. Okay, here in this case, it is e power v of x, vx plus vy. Okay, so fxy of x comma y dx dy. Now we separate this. Now since x and y are independent here, okay. So what is that? This can be written as fx of x, fy of y. It can be written as fx of x and fy of y dx dy. Fy of y dx dy. Okay. Now this can be written like this here. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay. Now we separate this. E power bx fx of x dx. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity. E power by. Okay. Fy of y dy. We separate these two into two parts. Now if you observe this, we have random variable x and it is function of v. Here it is random variable y and it is function of v. So mx plus y of v can be written as mx of v into my of v. This is our third property. The fourth property of joint movement generating function is that the joint movements can be obtained from joint movement generating function. So it is given like this: mnk. Mnk is equal to dou power n plus k mxy of v1 comma v2 by dou v1 of n dou v2 of k. Substitute v1 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to 0. Okay, so like that we can obtain the joint movements from the joint movement generating function by partial differentiation. Okay, now we'll see the proof of this. We know that nxy of v1 comma v2 is equal to, okay, it is expected value of e power v1x, e power v2y. It is expected value of e power v1x, e power v2y. Now e power v1x can be written in the power series expansion form. Write it in series expansion form. Okay. So if you write it in series expansion form, V1x can be written as e power V1x can be written as, okay, it is 1 plus V1x plus V1 square x square by 2 factorial plus V1 cube by x cube by 3 factorial plus so on like that. Similarly, e power V2y can also be expanded in series expansion method. E power V2y can be written as 1 plus V2y plus V2 square y square by 2 factorial plus V2 cube y cube by 3 factorial plus so on. Now substitute e power v1x and v2x in the formula of movement generating function. Okay, substitute these two, 2 and 3 in 1, in the equation 1. Okay, now the movement generating function mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as, okay, expected value of substitute. What is 1 plus e power v1x? It is 1 plus v1x plus v1 square x square by 2 factorial plus so on. Okay, similarly 1 plus v2y v2 square x square by 2 factorial plus so on like this. Okay. Now we'll multiply these two terms. If you multiply, we'll be getting 1 plus v1x plus v2y plus, okay, v1 square x square by 2 factorial, okay, v2 square y square by 2 factorial plus v1 v2 x y plus v1 square v2 x square y by 2 factorial plus so on like this will be. Okay. Now apply expected value to each and every term here. If you apply expected value to each and every term, what is that? We'll be getting expected value of 1 is 1 only, no? Plus v1 is constant, expected value of x will be getting here plus, okay, v2 is constant, will be getting expected value of y plus v1 square by, okay, 2 factorial, we will be getting expected value of x square plus v2 square by 2 factorial, will be getting expected value of y square plus so on. Okay. Now what we do here, we partially differentiate this with respect to v1 and v2. Okay. Now first we will do the differentiation with respect to v1. Substitute v1 is equal to 0. See, if you differentiate with respect to v1, this is constant. No, differentiation of constant is 0. Now we are differentiating with respect to v1. We get expected value of x. Okay. Since we are differentiating with respect to v1, this term is 0. Again, we will get this term. What is the differentiation of this is 2v1 by 2 expected value of x square. Now we are substituting what is v1? v1 is 0. So this term will also get cancelled. So we left with only this term. Okay. So what is expected value of x is nothing but the first order movement, that is m10. Similarly, differentiate mxy v1 comma v2 with respect to v2. We are differentiating with respect to v2 and substituting v2 is equal to 0. So since we are differentiating with respect to v2, this is 0, this is also 0. We have only the differentiation of this term. What is the differentiation of this? E power y. Okay. Then the other terms which is having v2, this term also will get, okay. But if you differentiate and substitute v2 is equal to 0, this term becomes 0. So we left with only e power y. So what is e power y? This is m01. And similarly, if you differentiate, do differentiation two times. We are doing differentiation, partial differentiation two times, and substitute, since you are doing partial differentiation with respect to v1, substitute v1 is equal to 0. Now if you substitute v1 is equal to 0, what is the term we will be having? E power x square. We will be having e power x square. What is this term? This is m20. Okay. And similarly, if you do partial differentiation with respect to v2, two times we are doing, then what is that we get? We get m02. Now, if you differentiate partially with respect to v1 and v2 both, dou v1, dou v2. If you do partial differentiation with respect to v1 and v2 both, then we get m11. Okay. By comparing all these equations, what is m1, m and k? So by